is someone who knows all about this deal. Paolo, good to see you. They've shaken hands on the deal. It doesn't mean it's a done situation, is
Precisely.
it? Do you think it is going to happen, though?
Well, let's say we are closer than we've been in the past. It's hard to tell whether this is actually going to happen. We know in the past, CVC Capital Partner that owns the 35.5% of the shares of Formula One have tried to sell the company with no success. But apparently, Bernie Ecclestone seems positive this time, and also the deal seems they're discussing around $8.5 billion. So it seems a good deal for CVC. So I don't see why they shouldn't sell.
CVC, the private equity firm involved in all of this, of course. From what we've been reading in the FT and other sources as well, it sounds though as if Bernie Ecclestone himself, he's going to stay at the helm, at least in terms of operations.
Exactly. It seems like the investors want him at the head of the operation, and this somehow might affect also how the business model of Formula One will be run in the future. There's been a lot of talk in recent years whether Formula One should perhaps change its business model to make it more sustainable, not only for the owners of Formula One, but also for the teams and all the other stakeholders, like, for example, the owners of the racetracks, like Silverstone Grand Prix, for example. And if
have had to defer their payment to actually host Formula One this year. They are the home of Formula One.
Exactly.
But their fees got by 5% every year, is that correct?
Exactly. And right now they need something like 15 millions of pounds to stay in the game. And I mean, we all hope that, of course, they're going to stay. But, when a business model is set up in a way in which one part has a return on investment of around 350% in a few years and the other struggle to stay in the game, probably there's something we should look into.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like Formula One is at a bit of a crossroads here. And it seems to me that you're suggesting that it's the business model itself that needs restructuring. But to what degree can that really happen if the men at the top remain the same? And this is a hugely important business, isn't it? Not just for the UK economy, but for the global economy. And it employs a huge number of people. They are at the cutting edge of R&D, for example. So how much change can this really bring about whilst we still have these familiar faces at the time?
Well, on the one hand, we cannot tell whether Mr. Ecclestone will be willing to change the business model or will be actually in charge of some huge restructuring of the business model. But on the other hand, I would be positive because, I mean, a good example to look at are the series of sport in America. And in the United States, they managed to set up a business model that allows small teams to stay in the game, sometimes even win the competition. So assuming that Miami Dolphins know very well this system, probably it could be, let's say, a good chance to make a major change in the sport.
Okay, we'll have to see. Paolo Aversa from Catholic Business School, many thanks for those thoughts. That is